Hey everybody, welcome back to Suckless Saturday. It's Neil and John. We're here at C2. We want to talk to you about the difference in range ammo and carry ammo.
Especially and specifically this week, talking about sucking less by knowing if your gun has differences in point of aim and point of impact between the two and how to fix that if they do.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
You need a shot timer because that which gets measured gets worked on. The Range Tech Timer is the official timer of active self-protection because it is versatile, reliable, feature-rich, and very economical. Check out all it can do at the link below.
So, I don't think people think about this one very much, Neil.
You know, I didn't until we took a class last summer and we shot a little bit of carry ammo, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, I knew it, but I hadn't really considered it a whole lot.
Well, and so this is something that, one of the reasons that most people would say, hey, you want to shoot the same grain weight of carry ammo or of practice ammo as your carry ammo. I'm a little bit more circumspect than that. I say you want to, if you can, shoot practice ammo that's as close to the point of impact of your carry ammo as you get. And if you can't, you either have to correct that in class or zero for one or the other. And if you're only going to zero for one or the other, zero your carry ammo. And recognize that you're going to be off a little bit with your practice ammo, or change your zero every time you go to the range. Do a zero, then do your training, get your carry ammo back in, re-zero for your carry ammo, and go from there. Or if you do it enough, I think you can know how many clicks it takes and go, oh, okay, I know it's going to be 5 clicks right and 2 clicks up every time I go to the range, and then 5 clicks left and 2 clicks down when I get done.
It's time to go.
Okay, you can do that. But this is important to know because you don't want to miss, if you had especially a longer range shot, this could be a significant issue. We took Chuck Pressburg's no-fail pistol in January, and of course, that we're talking about the worst day of your life. It's a shot you can't possibly miss, and man, you don't want your zero to be what causes that to happen.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you spend all of the time getting to the point where you can make that 25-yard, 10x hit on the range, and then the ammo that you're carrying on your worst day hits somewhere else.
Right.
I'm not saying all that time is wasted.
Right.
But all that time didn't do anybody any good on your worst day. So that's something that we really got to think about. So what are we going to do to address it? Well, one, we have to figure it out, right?
Yeah. Number one, we have to figure it out. So if you're running iron sights, then I certainly wouldn't do this past 10 yards for most people with iron sights. If you're running a red dot, the two real common red dot zeros are 10 yards and 25 yards. I don't want to have a fight with you about which one's right. Yeah. Do what you think is best, okay? I think either one of those is fine. I think both of our dots right now are 0 to 10 yards.
Yep.
Okay? So what I would suggest for most people is what we're going to do today. If you're a really, really strong shooter and you can shoot a 2-inch circle at 10 yards, great. Then and do it standing offhand. Oh, then knock yourself out. Do it standing offhand. Take 5 shots and see how close to your zero you are. Then change to your carry ammo and pick a new dot and do 5 more shots and see if you have a point of impact shift. But what I actually recommend for the vast majority of mortals is do it off the bench, if you can. And why would we do that? It just makes the wobble zone a lot less and kind of more eliminates the shooter out of it. So we're really thinking about what is the gun and the accuracy. So here's what I'm going to have you do, Neil. I'm going to have you take this target, move it out to 10 yards. Okay. And then we're going to use the bench. We're going to shoot 5 rounds of our typical carry ammo or our typical training ammo, which we're shooting MagTech 115 grain 9mm. It's what we shoot all the time. We love MagTech. Super reliable stuff. Generally groups great.
Yeah.
And we're going to take 5 good shots with that and verify where your zero is. Then we're going to load 5 rounds of the defensive ammo of your choice. And you are running 147 grain standard pressure HST, right?
Yep.
And we're going to see what that does and then see if we got to make some adjustments. Neil, go ahead and draw your firearm. Let's get it loaded with practice ammo.
Okay, I've got practice ammo in.
All right, so you're going to use that bench. And what I want you to do is I just want you to take 5 shots at the bottom left dot number 5, right? And I want them to be the very best, stillest dot you can possibly get there. And we want them the 5 best group you can possibly get with that ammo.
Okay.
So you got all day. Take your time. There's no rush here.
Okay.
So you're just going to do 3 instead of 5?
Oh, you went 5. I'm sorry. 5 it is.
Okay, now you're gonna load 5 HSTs and go over to dot number 10 and do the same thing. Back, oh yeah, you went all HK and went backwards. That's amazing. Run that round that's in it out. Yeah.
Okay.
5 perfect shots on dot number 10.
Oh, that wasn't a perfect shot.
Yeah, okay, we'll call the pepcac. All right, bench the gun and bring it in.
I was getting a little fatigued sitting there on my knees on that one.
So a
I'm like,
little
I'm just gonna
different.
throw one.
So step out a little bit, Neil, so that everybody can see it. We can zoom in as we need to, right?
Yep.
So if you look, obviously, I think we'll just ignore the flyer.
Yep.
Okay. So this guy in particular here, we don't care about at all. That's clearly was a problematic issue. But I would argue from the perspective of the 0, you're pretty close.
Yeah, they're fairly close.
It looks to me like, you know, we might want to add a few more rounds, maybe, you know, take a box through this stuff and verify that, but pretty darn close, which is actually one of the reasons I actually really love when we shoot with the MagTech 115 for us in our HKs. Generally, the duty ammo and that range ammo pattern about the same. Let me show you in my P30. All right, I'm gonna use number 4 and number 9. Now, I blinked and it's all me. All right, let's go to the HSTs.
I appreciate you having a flyer to make me feel better about myself.
Yeah, that was exactly what it was.
Thank
It was
you.
to make you feel better. Okay, so again, apart from the flyer, I'm maybe the skoshest high and left on my 0 on number 4. Go over to number 9. I've actually got a double there. The bottom right one is a double. So you can see all 5 of them there. There's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so, you know, I'm dead on. Maybe you could argue and say, John, you're a touch left. And so we need to move you back a little bit to the right. The bottom line is, I think that they're very close in terms of that. Now, honestly, I've seen people off as much as 5 or 6 inches.
Yep.
Not at 10 yards necessarily, but at 25 for sure. At 10 yards, I've seen 2 to 3 inches off.
So, you know, this is interesting because we just did our live stream on Ballistics not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Chuck. And I'm not an expert in this in any way, shape, or form, but what's going to happen between a 115 grain bullet flying out and the difference between that and a 147 at 25 on these? Are we going to still be in the same place?
Well, I mean, obviously, so when we talk about the way that marksmanship works, you know, a 2-inch circle at 10 yards when we go out to 25 is like a 5-inch circle, right? And so this size here, if you made it a 5-inch circle, is about what you would expect to see. So if you said, for instance, that I was at the bottom of the circle on my range ammo and at the top of the circle on my carry ammo, you're talking about a 5 or 6 inch difference at 25 yards.
Right.
Now, in our particular cases, I don't see that as much. I see them being relatively close, though, of course, you'd want to run out to 25 yards if you got the time and the ammo in order to do so and verify what you're seeing. But the bigger thing here is if you do see a significant shift, then that's a big deal. Now, why don't we see that in this particular case? I'll tell you exactly why we don't see it in this particular case. In that the 115 grain 9mm that we're running, you would expect to be running a lot faster. However, they have less powder in them. And so the higher powdered 147s have a little more pop. You can definitely feel it when you run the gun. And so they have more recoil, but that's getting the bullet to about the same speed as the 115. And in the short distances that we're doing that, that means that they're rising and falling to a really negligibly different place. But again, your carry ammo and your, ammo of choice in terms of your range ammo might be different. Now, is this me telling you that if you're carrying heavy for caliber, if you're doing the right thing and carrying HSTs or gold dots, like you probably should be, or even critical duty in that 135 grain, that 115 grain MagTech is a really good choice? I mean, it's the reason that I use it. And I know somebody's going to argue and go, you use it because they pay you. There's a reason that we do that. There's a reason that we allow that, because the range tech is, the MagTech is so reliable, and it hits the point of aim that my carry ammo hits. It's a winner to me.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, and I think just over the last, 3 years where we've really had a lot of trouble with ammo. I mean, Moses. 2 years. But, you know, people have been forced to, you know, do different things.
Yeah, they're forced to buy garbage.
You know, it's hard to find HST. It's hard to find gold dot sometimes. And guys are like, well, I'm going to have to settle for this. And while I'm not saying that's wrong, I would prefer it not.
Right.
But we have to do what we have to do, right?
Right. And if you've got something else, the bigger thing here, the way to suck less this week,
here we go,
is to test.
Yes.
Is to just get to the range at whatever distance you can. If you can use a bench, and to run a 5-shot group at whatever distance you're zeroed. If your dot is 0 to 25, run it at 25. If you're running irons or you've got a 10-yard dot gun, run it at 10. Get a good group. Get the best group you possibly can, man. Nice and tight so you can tell what the gun is doing. Eliminate as much of you as you can. Shift over to your carry ammo. Pick a similar target on that same one so you can compare. Run a 5-shot group. Be honest. Be so honest about this. The last thing on earth you want to do on this one is you lie to yourself.
Yeah.
And to go, oh, it's fine. It's just as good. It's fine. It's fine. Your life might depend on this.
Yep. And that's why I think it's important to shoot more than one round. Right.
Yes.
And I know people are going to say, man, I just don't have any to waste. This isn't a waste.
It's not a waste.
This is technically life or death stuff that we're talking about. This is the ammo we carry around to protect ourselves and our loved ones. You know what? Running a full box wouldn't be stupid.
Oh, it wouldn't be stupid at all. And of course, I would strongly recommend when you are carrying a gun, it needs to be zeroed to your carry ammo. You need to be utterly confident on the worst day of your life that the gun is going to function and it is going to hit exactly to your point of aim. And then any problems that exist are operator errors, right? Anything that goes wrong, it goes wrong. You know, we used to call it a peb gag problem exists between gun and ground. And that's a me problem, right? Not a gun problem, not an ammo problem, a me problem. And then if you need to adjust that zero or your point of aim while you're training, then I would much rather you do that than have to wonder or play Kentucky windage when your life is on the line.
Yeah, that's a bad day to play the Kentucky Wind.
Yeah. And so, listen, go to the range and do it, guys. It takes you 10 rounds.
Yep.
You know, 5 range rounds, 5 duty rounds, carry rounds. You might need to adjust some, so you might need a few more than that, and you go from there. And I tell you what, if your carry ammo and your range ammo hit exactly the same, and you post video proof of that in the Asp Dry Fire Challenge, Neil will sing you a song.
I will sing you a song, and you're going to love it.
Hope it helps you guys.
See you next time.